After 6 months of car shopping, we finally made up our minds and just bought a rear-wheel drive 2024 Model 3 refresh. Oh yeah. I recently made a video comparing hybrids, plug-in hybrids, and EVs, which each has their own strengths, but since this is our second vehicle that will be used mostly for commuting, and we have the ability to charge at home every night, a fully electric vehicle makes the most sense for us in the long run. Plus, one of the biggest advantages of buying an EV right now is all of the incentives. They won't last forever. Because I was able to qualify for all the rebates, it actually made the Tesla a lot cheaper than we expected. More on that in a minute. It just felt like the perfect time to take advantage of the rebates since EV technology has matured enough that these cars remain excellent even years down the line. My friends with 2017 and 2018 EVs are still going strong with 100,000 plus miles on each of them. They're still getting software updates and have had almost zero maintenance costs besides tires. Not too shabby. Okay, so over the last 6 months, I test drove a bunch of stuff. I test drove the ID4, the Prius Prime, the Ionic 5 and 6, and the Kona. I would have liked to test out more things, but the thing is, once I drove the Model 3 refresh, I didn't want to try anything else. This just felt like the obvious choice. I was done with my search. I can't speak for older versions of Tesla, but in 2024 they came out with a refreshed version and it feels like the future, like what all cars should be. The biggest thing that separates the Tesla from the rest of the pack is the features you get even in the base model. We bought the rear-wheel drive, and usually when you hear the words base model, what do you think? Well, I can tell you what I think. I think garbage features, I think plastic interiors and manual everything. Nope, not with the Tesla. For example, in the Kona and Ionic base models, which aren't cheap by the way, you have to manually adjust your seat with levers, making it tough to find the perfect spot. The Tesla base model has electric adjustments with lumbar support. Not only that, it remembers your settings based on the app, so even if you let other people drive your car and they move the seat around, whenever you get in the car in the future, it resets the seats just how you like them. You don't have to do anything. Each driver profile is tied to your phone, so whoever gets in the driver's seat, the car will adjust accordingly. Nice. Now they have built-in seat warmers, which is great, but they also have air-cooled seats. Yeah, in the base model. Have kids or cart people around a lot? It comes with an 8-inch touchscreen in the back that people can play games, watch YouTube, Netflix, or Twitch on. You can also use it to adjust music, etc. Plus, you can hook up to 2 sets of Bluetooth headphones to it so the kids can watch their annoying shows while you listen to podcasts or music up front. Yeah, that's part of the base model too. Oh, and just things like power trunk, green light detection, autopilot, the cameras. I mean, look at all these cameras. And geez, I haven't even talked about the app. Wherever you are, you can just lock or precondition the vehicle to defog or defrost it. I mean, a lot of cars can do that, but you get all of this stuff in just the base model. It's so impressive. Okay, the features are amazing and all. Let's talk about how it drives. It drives like how you hope it drives. It's fun. It's just more fun than the others. Now, we just got the standard range, which is a lot slower than the all-wheel drive version. I'm gonna make another video soon talking about why we chose this one instead of the long-range version, because there were a lot of decisions that went into that. But even still, this car is fast enough. Look, I'm in my 40s, I want something fun. I'm dropping kids off here and running errands there. I want something I look forward to doing that all in. This rear-wheel drive Model 3 is enough. I was worried it wasn't enough, but it's enough. It makes you smile. It gives you that feeling, that pull. My wife nailed it when she said it's like when you're in an airplane and right as it hits the runway for takeoff, it kind of just blasts you back in your seat. This gives you that. It blasts on the highway, it's smooth and quiet, it'll make your kids sick in the back seat. Some people have mentioned previous versions have a stiff ride, but it feels good to me with this refresh model. I've done a 2-hour drive and the comfort was great. The seats feel good. With the Model 3 refresh, they put the door fasteners in, so no more wobbly doors over the years, and they put double pane glass all around to make it quieter inside the cabin, which I love. Now, the biggest reason we chose this car over everything else is the screen. The ability to watch high quality content while we wait is a game changer. We have multiple kids who have multiple activities, and a lot of the time we have to hang out between those activities. Times where we're waiting around for 30 to 60 minutes at a time, multiple days of the week. And in those moments, being able to watch Netflix or YouTube videos in high quality with great sound, I mean, come on. Sure, you can do that in other vehicles, but watching on a 7 or 10-inch screen is not the same as watching it on the Tesla screen. The screen for us, where we're at in life, sealed the deal. It has made waiting in the car a treat. The car has incredible features, it's true, but it's not perfect, and they made some bold choices with this car, like getting rid of the stocks and just getting rid of things we've gotten used to over a lifetime, things like buttons for fans and knobs for volume, etc. And a lot of people don't like those choices. But you know what? I think change is good sometimes. I'm willing to accept that maybe the old way isn't as good as the new way, and I'm doing my best to adapt, and you know what? I'm adapting pretty quick. Sure, I miss having a stock for windshield wipers, but when the car automatically cleans the windows for you, you don't need the stocks. Buttons for turn signals are a bit odd at first, but it makes the cockpit look super slick in my opinion, and it turns them off automatically when you change lanes anyway. I didn't know how I would feel about the minimal design in the driver's seat because a lot of people said that they don't like it, but you know what? I love it. It turns out I don't need to know my RPM or the engine heat all the time. It just doesn't matter. All that matters is the road and how fast you're going. And where the screen is, that information is close by. This car offers a very intimate, engaging driving experience where you get to focus on the road with no distractions. I personally really like it. I can see how people who love engines might miss the purr of an ICE motor, but I think most people would prefer this. Now the range on this Model 3 is great. We've done 6 days of daily driving and are still at 50% battery. It's better than I expected. Plus we just charged plugging into 120 volt where we get about 25% charge over 12 hours. So if we wanted to keep this at 100% charge by charging at home every night, we easily could. But we are aiming to keep the battery between 20 to 60% to keep the battery as healthy as possible over the years. We didn't buy it for road trips. I mean, that's why we're keeping our ICE vehicle around. We will use that for when we go longer distances or need something with all-wheel drive, maybe in the snow. But as a commuter, the Model 3 is rad. And we don't really even want to drive the other vehicle anymore because the Tesla is just so fun. Maybe that'll wear off soon. I don't know. With the Tesla, you get built-in maps, it has all sorts of assists, and I mean, the point is, for the price you pay and for what you get, nothing else even comes close when it comes to the base model. We save around $400 a month in gas by driving this. That's basically the car payment. And the fact that not only were we able to qualify for the $9,000 in rebates in Canada, Tesla also has a referral program. So if you buy with that link here in Canada, you get another $1,300 off. If you're curious to check out how much that costs, I'll leave a link in the description and pinned comment below, because it was cheaper than I thought that it was. $10,000 off the sticker price. I mean, it brought the Tesla, a car I never thought we'd be able to afford, into a price point that actually works when we figured out all the numbers and savings. Plus, our quality of life was upgraded with all the features I talked about, and I didn't even scratch the surface with the features. I'll talk more about all those features soon. Anyway, I'm not saying other cars aren't great. They are, but I get it. I get why everyone I meet with a Tesla loves it. I've been skeptical for years about whether or not their cars would still be relevant years later, and now I'm in. I'm all in. I want another. Good job, Tesla. Do keep in mind, we've only had this vehicle for a couple weeks, and I am in the honeymoon phase. Sure, the Kool-Aid tastes great, but I will do my best to pick this thing apart as time goes on. Will I still be this happy months from now? We'll see. I'll be sure to let you know. I have some fun videos coming down the pipes, but I cannot deny how great this car is so far, especially at the price point, and I just thought you should know. What about you? Do you own a Tesla? If so, do you have any regrets with your choice? And if you haven't bought one yet, why wouldn't you consider one? The hardest decision for me was deciding between the long-range all-wheel drive and the standard range rear-wheel drive. After a lot of thinking about it, we chose the rear-wheel drive for a few big reasons, and I'll share those here when that video is ready, so be sure to check that out if you too are curious. Otherwise, here's what YouTube thinks you'd like to watch next. If you enjoyed the video, I would appreciate it if you could take a second and thumbs it up. It's the only way for my channel to grow. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on The Sad Life.